Good morning, my faithful loyal YouTube subscribers. Today it is Monday. It is November 26th. The year is 2020. And I had a nice weekend. Finally got some rest. And I spent part of the weekend with a friend of mine from South Georgia. Young guy, Morehouse student. We just hang out. We ended up going to breakfast yesterday, and we went to sat outside this little restaurant and had breakfast. We had breakfast at IHOP, and we went to this other place and had some drinks. But anyway, we ended up having these long conversations. We always have these real long intellectual conversations about a bunch of different stuff. But yesterday, as we were driving through the city, I saw so many homeless people here, y'all. My goodness. And I know that there are thousands and thousands of homeless across the United States. But it's very concerning to see so many young people, younger than me, who are homeless, have no place to live, and living on the streets. It's just like, what is going on here? How did all these black young families, men and women, mainly a lot of men, end up homeless, sleeping on the sidewalks, living on the streets? And how did this come to be? And then I look around at the parents. These black women have got to stop having children that they don't want. They got to stop using their vaginas to bring children into this world that don't nobody want to love. Either they need to we have to have a very serious conversation in the black community about birth control, or we've got to get more comfortable with abortion. Something's got to give. You got all these thousands of young adults on these streets in Atlanta. They have no place to go. Many of these guys are teenagers. Where are their family members? Where are their mothers and fathers? Nowhere to be found. Why are they out walking these streets late at night, selling bottled water up and down these streets, sleeping on the sidewalks and all this other stuff, and begging? As we sat on that restaurant, people drinking, having a few drinks, people just kept coming up begging and begging and begging, to the point I said, we need to move from this spot. We couldn't enjoy our drinks because so many people were coming up begging for assistance. And the sad part about it is I'm beginning to notice with my sister's kids how dire the situation has become for them. And I don't doubt for a second that my sisters love their children, but they couldn't provide much for them. So now they have children, and the situation is literally jumping from one generation to the next generation, and it's getting worse and worse each generation. And there are some members of my family who are homeless, are bouncing from hotel room to hotel room, but they're still bringing children into the world. And I'm just trying to figure all this out. Where is all this craziness coming from? Who would want to bring a child into this world and you don't have a place to live yourself? But all my sisters did it. When they were having children, basically, they barely had a place to live, or were just barely getting by. And they brought these children into this world. I do not have any children. I never wanted to have any children. I'm not going to have any children to bring into this fucked up ass world. When you drive through downtown Atlanta and you see all these homeless black men, no jobs, no income, sleeping on I cut through when we left the restaurant after we sat there for a few hours. We got on the highway, and I ended up cutting through downtown by the state capitol. And I hadn't been through there in a minute because over the past, I just rarely could go through that area. Oh my God, that's when I really saw these homeless people. They were everywhere, and I said all over the downtown street, sleeping bags, just laying down, and it was cold last night. They were everywhere, just people just laying all over the place. You have to wonder who brought these children into this world. Who would want to bring a child into the world and end up in these circumstances? I'm sure many of us are going to try our best to blame this on racism. It's a systematic racism. But I don't think racist white folks are standing in our bedrooms as we are procreating children and having sex to have children and making folks bring birth children into this world that don't nobody want. These were some young people, very young people who were out there on those streets, way younger than me. Well, and I'm just trying to figure out how do all these young adults end up homeless on these streets and on drugs and minds messed up and just sleep on a sleeping bag. And there was a guy as we were driving up the street, because the streets were empty. Other than the homeless people out there downtown, that was ghost town. We just passing through. And I saw a guy on a pickup truck handing out sleeping bags. And they were lined up grabbing them bags because it got cold last night. It was in the 30s. And they were handing out. He had a vest on and he was handing, I don't know what organization he came from, but he had a truck load of sleeping bags and people lined up and were grateful to have those sleeping bags. That's what it's come down to, that we're just going to hand out sleeping bags to people lying on the streets and give them a sleeping bag and say good luck. What if it rained last night? This is a bad situation. And I know some of you women who have these children, because this is a black issue. These are black folks out there on these streets here in Atlanta. And I know in other parts of the country it's more some of everybody. But here in Atlanta, there's a lot of black folks on these streets. And they're young. These are somebody's kids. And they're out there on these streets. And who would want to bring a child into the world for them to have to grow up and live on the streets? I don't care what country it is. I don't care where it is, what country, since we know this problem is persistent around the world, but I think black people need to stop and think. Black women need to really stop and think. Why am I having this child? How am I going to take care of this child? How am I going to feed this child? Who's going to assist me with this child? How will I educate this child? What is my child's future? Those are important questions any parent should have. Instead of saying, I got a baby on the way. To do what with this child? What is your child's future? What is your future? If you barely surviving on your own, like some of the women I know who have had children in the past 12 months barely surviving on their own, but they bringing children into this world. One of my nephews, he had a baby. Now the girl's pregnant again. That's baby number 2. On top of the other children he has. So less than a year and a half. I'm thinking, when did she come on? She had a baby a year ago. Had to have been a year ago. And anyway, now she's pregnant with baby number 2. And they barely have a place to live. It's strange to me. Birth control is not that expensive, and it should be available for everybody. One would think. Why would this woman lay up there and have all these children by this man? They ain't married. He ain't working. I'm just trying to figure out, he ain't working, but she getting up working. At a hotel, I don't know. I tend to mind my own business, and they ain't got shit to do with me. And I always tell people that would call me and say, you know what's going on? I don't want to hear, because it ain't got shit to do with me. One thing I will do is mind my fucking business. I'm not out over here having a bunch of children to worry about. In fact, this woman, one of my neighbors, she moved out the building and gave me an old plant over here. It's going to die. I told her, I don't know what she brought this plant in here. Now I got to water this plant, take care of it. I'm going to roll it out to the hallway. Somebody else can have it. Because that plant ain't going to survive in this house. I forgot to even water it. I said, this damn thing needs to be watered over here. It's just sitting there thirsty. And I didn't ask for it. And I ain't got to find a way to water it and get it some sunlight and all that stuff. I'm going to shove it into the hallway and let somebody else take it. It's a nice plant. Maybe somebody else can do something with it. Every time I buy them plants, they don't survive living around me. Because they don't know how to walk into the kitchen to get a glass of water. I just think it's frightening. I saw those homeless people last night, and I've seen this before. It seems like it's getting worse. Well, it is getting worse because we're in this pandemic thing, and there just has not been a lot of. We put a lot of resources into trying to assist these homeless people. And a lot of people are going to lose their apartments because they're not working. There's a lot of shit that's about to go down, and I think a lot of black people are oblivious to what's about to happen to ISs. And I just sit back and look at people. And as I sat in that on that patio last night by the doors up to I saw people still not social distancing. Very few people wearing masks. I had my mask. Of course, we were drinking, so I couldn't wear it when you're drinking. I really think a lot of people are oblivious about what's going to happen this winter. As a lot of people lose their homes, they've lost all the employment benefits ended. Are they ending right as I do this video? A lot of unemployment coming to the end for a lot of people. Benefits are ending, and there's no replacement, nowhere to be seen. Donald Trump is holed up in that White House trying to hide out in there because he's scared they're going to lock his ass up when he finally come crawling up out of there on January the 20th. They may have to force his ass out of there. He might become another one of them homeless people on the street that have to throw his ass out of there. It just makes you wonder. But we are going through some very trying times right now. And I'm looking at all these women that I know having these children right now. Financially in a bad fix. On unemployment. Barely surviving, but you having children. Why? Who does this? How would you feed and take care of this child? You ain't working, no benefits, no nothing. This is not making sense to me. And black folks do it every single day. Black women do it every damn day. Why do these women do this foolish behavior? I don't understand it. I don't get it. That's why so many black women are single parents. Because they're not prepared, never were financially prepared to have a child, went in a situation that was worth bringing a child into, not married, single, no money, but bringing a baby into this world. Who does this? Only the Queens of N-ville. They call themselves queens, but they are fools. The bad Queens of N-ville. That's what I'm going to name this video. The Queens of N-ville. Because they ain't got no sense. Why would you lay up next to this man who has no job, no nothing? He's not doing nothing for you. You working, barely got a job, and you allow him to impregnate you. And you bring a child into this world that you can't even offer diapers. Who does that? Why? And we sit around looking at it as our plight as black people. And it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse because of the dumb decisions we make. We scream systematic racism. Okay. Like I said, the white folks are not standing in that bedroom making y'all have sex without condoms or birth control, or making you carry a baby for full term that you should not have had, or you either should have had an abortion or a Plan B or whatever they got out there. Have children when you can afford to have children, when the timing is right. But to bring children into this world, when we got all these homeless people on these streets, bring children, it's disheartening. You know, I wasn't even going to do a video about this, but my sister called me this morning about all this mess. I had to hang up the phone on her. I don't want to hear this stuff about them crazy people, what they're doing with these babies and children and all this stuff. And yeah, you have another one. What can I do about it? What can we do? I mean, she didn't ruin my Monday morning. I'm getting up, morning birds chirping. I'm getting out of I see that phone. I said, I'm going to release a phone. I gotta listen to this mess. And what are we gonna do about Thanksgiving? Well, I don't want to do. Well, are we in a pandemic? There will be no Thanksgiving. No large gathering of poor people coming together so we can all kill each other and give each other the coronavirus. Why would we do that? And I know you niggas ain't social distancing and wear masks. No, I'm not gonna be involved in that. Everybody will have Thanksgiving in their own little homes. I've seen everybody a fried turkey. They cheap. Eat up and enjoy. Make you some sides and just sit your turkey now. You don't have to make some dressing. If you don't have no dressing, get you some stove, top, stuffing, figure it out. That's how that shit gonna go. And we ain't doing hampers. Feed the homeless this year. Too dangerous for me. See, I have to understand, I'm in one of them categories. The coronavirus might jump on my back. I'm sitting over here with high blood pressure. I'm tipping the scales at close to 270 pounds. I need to sit my fat ass down and get my fat ass onto a treadmill. I need to have a low-fat turkey for Thanksgiving with none of the sides and stuff. Coronavirus gonna be, they ate my ass alive in a minute over here, so I gotta watch out for that coronavirus, because I know he likes big fat people, and right about now, I'm falling in the big fat category. I ain't no fool over here. So yeah, I gotta avoid the coronavirus. Because he looking at me saying there's some good eating sitting right there. So, no, we didn't have no Thanksgiving, Lisa. I'm not being bothered with that. You need to sit down someplace and sit and what is going on in your head. Yeah, we know you're having all these children. How they gonna do this? I don't know. It's another child that's gonna end up on the streets. We can't adopt them all. We can't take it. What is going on here? Why are they having all these kids? And then somebody just had a birthday party a few weeks ago with some child's 1-year-old baby. I guess it was that. I don't know. Shit. My ass is old. Every time I go to when I go to my sister's in the house, and I see these little babies, I don't know whose children you are. I just see your babies. I said, whose child is this? Oh, that's so-and-so's baby. I'm like, another one? Whose child is this? Whose baby is this? And another one will come running by. I said, well, what is going on here? Attacking the children. Who want all these kids? Why are they having them? None of them can afford them. None of them. Bunch of poor-ass niggas. And I sit back and say, why they got all these children running around here like a circus? Like a zoo. They're all young children. I'm thinking, what in the fuck is going on around here? But it ain't my concerns. I'm not going to worry myself about this shit. I'm only going to worry about that one woman, Berta Hampton, who's getting on my damn nerves. I'm trying to find her a place to go right now. Because she don't want to be around all these children no more. And I don't blame her. Anyway, I'm trying to find her some place to go. It's hard to find a place for old folks. I'm about to find something. I may just have to get a traditional apartment. I don't want to do that. I was trying to get her into one of these buildings that cater to elderly folks, but I see that's going to be a hard thing to do. I mean, shit, you got to practically go over there and bribe the people. I can get $5,000. Can she get the unit? And they be like, okay, you can get it now. I'm going to have to do something. This is kind of crazy because I went from place to place, called all over the city. Now, I knew this was going to be an issue any damn way. I knew it. We may have to give up on trying to locate a unit for it, because there's so many people trying to get them. There's so many families trying to find some place for a grandmama to go because she tired of living over there with all these heathens that she done brought into the world. Keep in mind, my mother is the one who's responsible for this Hampton clan here that's running around all these babies today. She's responsible. We'll talk about that in another video, but she is the direct responsibility. This is her doing. So, but she won't admit that. You just practically have to beat her out of it until she finally come clean and say, I screwed up. Yeah, Miss Hampton, you did screw up. We can do some more videos with my mother because it's been so much that's happened over the past year and a half. Mainly, so hopefully we'll sit down and get some more videos done. Me and her have been having a lot of talks lately about just all this crazy stuff. But I had to get up today, this week, I have to focus on finding her some place to go. And I think, I don't know, I'm going to have to find something. I was trying to find something. I don't know. I'm going to get out there and look. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. But I really wish these women would stop having me bring these children into this world. My nieces and nephews then had a whole bunch of kids they can do nothing for. And then kids got to grow up in an environment like this. And there's more than life. They barely provide shelter for these kids. What about education? opportunities, schooling. What is going on in their heads? Why y'all having all these children you can't do? I don't understand it. I just don't get it, y'all. I just don't get it. But that's not my concern. I'm not going to make it my concern. Today is, and I ain't being selfish, y'all, but this ain't my business. Today is Monday, November 16th. The year is 2020. I didn't even get to do the video I want to talk about, but around maybe later. I took that phone call. Lisa in the room, though. Gotta get my damn coffee. Got cold here. I am gonna do that video because I want to talk. I'm gonna do another video because I want to talk about what I really want to talk about before I get that phone call from my crazy sister. But anyway, today is Monday, November 16th, year 2020, and I'll be back. Enjoy your Monday. I'm gonna do another video after I've warmed up my coffee.